Hi everyone! Welcome back. My name's Erica if you're new here. Thanks for checking out my channel. Diamond paintings are a girl's best friend. Today we are kitting up a new kit that I have mixed feelings about. Let me find the sticker sheet so I can show you. It is Paris Memories, which is a Dreamer design kit that is 90 by 60 centimeters or 35.4 by 23.6 inches. It's a square drill kit. I don't know how many drills are in it exactly because I don't think Dreamer Design has that on the box, but it is a large kit. But there are only 58 colors, so the kit up isn't terrible. You all know if you've watched this is not my favorite thing to do. But I have already pre-applied all the sticker sheets to my bottles, the screw top bottles that I use. So that's exciting. I have my sparkling water ready. Try to keep myself hydrated here. And I guess I've also I've pre-cut all of the drills apart. When there are more than one bag of drills, like for example, this number 45 had 3, I cut these off and I set them aside. I do not like the kitting up process, so what I do in order to make it go faster is I only use one bag, and then as I'm diamond painting, when I run out, I will deal with it at that point and go to my little stash over to the left and get whatever color it is that I have run out of, and then refill the bottle then. I just like to get through as quickly as possible the whole kitting up process. Which is why I love so much the kits with the little baggies that are already kitted up. I do not have that luxury with either Diamond Art Club or Dreamer Design, which is primarily the companies that I buy from. Dreamer Design does put their bags in numerical order, so it does make kitting up a little bit easier, whereas Diamond Art Club puts them in weight order. And so this is one of the kits that I had selected of 5 kits that I wanted to get done this year. It's a Paris kit. I have done at least one other Paris kit this year. I have several Paris kits. I'm kind of obsessed with Paris. If my husband had his passport, which he let expire right now, I might be going to Paris, France, and Italy, but we won't talk about that. It's a little bit of a sore subject, nonetheless. All right, so let's talk about, well, first, I just wanted to say I've gotten a lot of comments wishing me a speedy recovery from the shingles that I had. I guess I still have, and I really appreciate that. I am 95% better. The rash is almost gone. It's now to the point where it itches at night quite a bit, but other than that, I get a little bit of numbness in my right hand, which I hope will stop. There can be complications, I understand, with shingles that you can have that long term. I'm hoping I do not. But I am almost fully recovered. I do have all my energy back. For a while, I couldn't get through the day without taking like a 2-hour nap, and I am not having any problem with that. I actually walked probably 4 miles this morning, so no naps. I'm all good there. Let's see. What have I been up to this past week? I have been trying to soak up the Montana summer. It is not going to be around much longer. Like I would guess by this time next month, it's going to be fully fall, fully cold, and I'm actually looking forward to that. I moved here from Texas, so I got 6 years of warmth, and I prefer having a little bit of crisp air at this point. Now, I reserve the right to complain during the winter, and I know I will. I absolutely know I will. So, apologies in advance for the complaining that I will do, and you all feel free to remind me about how I really wanted it to get cooler. All right, so this past week, so last Saturday, I went to the Huckleberry Festival in Swan Lake. I think I did a kitten chat or something. I did something where I told you all that I was going to that. I will add in a little footage of that at the end so that you can kind of see what it looked like if you're interested. If you're not interested, feel free to click off. That's why I'm going to put it at the end, so that if that's not why you came to the channel, you don't have to look at the little festival in Swan Lake, Montana. But it was fun. We didn't stay for that long. They had food vendors. They had kind of crafts, I would say, more than art. I'm a big fan of art, not so much crafts at festivals. To me, they're very distinct from each other. They had a huckleberry pancake breakfast that was excellent. Not a big pancake person, but those were good. I also got huckleberry ice cream. So full on carb coma at that. And it was set on this, shockingly enough, Swan Lake, Montana is set on Swan Lake, which is a really long, beautiful lake in northern Montana, I guess northwestern Montana. And I will insert now a photo that I took of my husband, or maybe a couple photos. I think I took a photo of him like eating pancakes, and then I took a photo of him by the lake, so that you can kind of get an idea. The settings up here are just unreal. So we did that, and then what else? We went on the next day we went on a longer hike. It was a very secluded hike, I think is probably the right way to say it. Like, we drove probably 7 to 10 miles on a dirt road, which is not uncommon for hikes around here, and then got to the trailhead and there were no other cars there. This is pretty heavy grizzly country, so it shouldn't make me feel better when there are other cars at a trailhead, because it really doesn't matter, right? But at the same time, it does make me feel a little bit better. So I was a little nervous in that there were no other cars at the trailhead. And, the other thing is that there's no cell phone service. So if you have a problem, like, you've got a real problem. Like, I can't, like, physically lift my husband or drag my husband for miles out of a trailhead either. So, we do take bear spray. I'm the bear spray holder. And then my husband does take a firearm. He was in the military. He does know how to operate firearms very well. I do not, so pretty useless for me at this point. But even with that, it's still a little nerve-wracking. We did not see any grizzly sign, no scat, no tracks. So that was good. That made me feel better. I had gotten on AllTrails and I had seen a couple people talk about how they saw so much bear sign that they decided to turn around on that trail. So yeah, it's funny. When I've gone hiking other places outside of Montana, it feels so much more relaxing because as much as I like hiking here, the views are amazing. It's a lot of fun, but there's always in the back of your head, am I gonna run into a grizzly bear? You guys, I like don't even care if I run into a black bear. I know a black bear can hurt you, but like, I'm just so kind of caught up in grizzly bears that I don't even think about black bears. So we probably did, that trail was, I don't know, 13 miles. We surely did not do the whole trail. I would guess we did about 4 to 5 miles of it. So that was That was the same day we went to the Huckleberry Festival, actually. We came back and wish we would have gone a little earlier because it got a little warm. And we went to church on Sunday, and then we went over to our property and we were cutting, cutting wood. We've been doing that, you know, a couple times a week. When we go over there, we try to do that so that when we get to the point where our house is built, which is going to be in another like year and a half or 2 years, I don't even know. But we will have firewood. We will have a wood stove that we will use to heat our house partially. So you need a lot of wood. We actually have to order, we've been told, probably 6 to 7 cords of wood for the rental this winter for heating purposes. And I'm telling my husband we need to get on that because there's been a couple times that if we had wood, I would have started a fire in the wood stove because there's been a few days where it was like a high of 52. And in this rental cabin, for whatever reason, it's a good thing when it's warm outside, but it's a lot cooler in here than the actual temperature outside. So I'm hoping that doesn't translate to it being a lot colder in the winter. I'm hoping it translates to there's actually sufficient insulation in the home. But time will tell. Let's see, what else I don't remember what I did on Monday and Tuesday, which is terrible, but I just don't. On Wednesday, I actually shuttled for my husband. So he and a gentleman that he met up here could go fishing with our fishing raft. So I drove like an hour to where they to where they were going to pull out. My husband had put the boat in, and then he drove to meet me, and I drove him back to where they had put in. It's like my husband and I did that float, the same float on the same river, like about a week ago. And it was funny to me. It was kind of hard to figure out. It was like a story problem from like elementary school to figure out how you line up the cars in order to be able to leave most expeditiously. So I'm not even sure that we did it right, that we're doing it right. There might be a better way. The best way is when you have 3 people. But I don't know. It's a production. So unfortunately, even though we left really early, I wasn't able to go kayaking. Why does this say 14? Is this the same color? This is 14. And what was this? This was 14. Where's 15? Okay, so I have 14. And then the next one I picked up from my pile was a 14. So there must be a 15 over here somewhere that I missed in my stash. It's gray, I know that. Here it is. Okay, well we found 15. Anyway, so the prior Wednesday I had gone kayaking. Someone brought me a kayak to use. There's a group of women that go kayaking here for about 2 hours on Wednesday mornings in just a beautiful lake. And so I had gotten a kayak the following day because I was so excited to continue to do that. But because it took so long to shuttle my husband for fishing, I missed the beginning of kayaking. So I decided when I got back here, it was probably, I don't know, it was probably 10. I kind of just sat around. I probably worked on diamond painting, I don't remember. And then I decided I was going to go kayaking on my own because I just got in this kayak and it was a beautiful day. I had nothing to do. My husband wasn't going to be back all day, so I did. I went kayaking. It was funny because when I got there, I was surprised. A couple of the women that had been kayaking earlier were still there. So that was nice. It was fun to go kayaking, but I think it's more fun when you're going with other people. Hopefully my husband is getting a kayak today. I have been bugging him to get one because I want to go kayaking with him this weekend. But we shall see. He's gone to a couple places and he keeps finding reasons like not to get them, which I agree. Like, I don't want to spend a ton of money on a kayak. We're not, you know, professional kayakers, but like, I think he's gone to like 4 different places. I'm like, I just went to one place and found one. Like, why is this so difficult? So hopefully he'll get a kayak today so that we can go kayaking this weekend. And then what else did I do? I started, unfortunately, kind of casually applying to some jobs. Generally speaking, for the most part, I'm trying to switch, at least if I'm going to work. I want to work less, and I want to try not to work in a formal, like, litigation attorney go to court capacity, because again, since I moved up here, and I'm not licensed in Montana, and I don't really have any intention to be licensed in Montana, there are some hearings that courts hold that are remote, that you can do via Zoom, but like, I've done that for 20 years and I just kind of want to switch gears. It's a lot of work, y'all. Like lawyers work, if they do litigation, they're working usually at least 60 hours a week. I was probably working more than that at my last job. And it's not because I was trying to be an overachiever. It was because I was trying to get done what has to get done, because it is a very deadline-oriented profession. And if you miss a deadline, you can blow an entire case. You can get sued for malpractice. I mean, you have a duty to your client to do the best that you can, and you just have a lot of responsibility, right? And I know there's a lot of professions that have a lot of responsibility, but certainly that's one of them. So I started casually looking at insurance adjusting jobs that require you to be an attorney. So I would, you know, use the skills that I have, but there's a lot of those jobs that are remote. Insurance adjusters, they go, you know, I don't think it's probably an easy job either. I've never worked as an insurance adjuster. You still have to evaluate cases, try to settle cases, argue, you know, cases to an extent in mediation, but you pick an attorney that represents the client. And so you also have a duty to the client, and you're trying to, you know, basically make sure that you're authorizing or recommending the correct payout from an insurance perspective of insurance money. But when there's a trial, you go maybe and you watch the trial and see how it unfolds, make sure that you don't want to make any changes about, or maybe settle the case during a trial, whatever it might be, but you're not actually trying the case. And you kind of get to make the decision along with, you know, your bosses probably. And this is all kind of hypothetical because I've never actually worked at an insurance company, but I did have a lot of dealings with insurance companies and insurance adjusters, you know, for the last 5 years. But you kind of make the call whether a case is going to go to trial. So it's very similar to what I've been doing for the last 20 years, except for I'm not trying the cases, I'm not making the arguments. So I'm hoping it's a little bit less stress. I'm not naive to think it's necessarily low stress at all, but I'm hoping it's a little less stress and more like a 40-hour work week. We shall see. I don't know if I'll have any interest from these companies or not. I don't know if I'm going to want to work for what they're going to offer to pay me. So it's a big if. I'm just kind of throwing some stuff out there and seeing what happens, if anything. Oh no, one of my piles just toppled. So yeah, I was doing that this week, applying for a few jobs, and I'm filming this on Friday, and so this morning I mentioned I went and walked. So there's the same kind of group of ladies that do kayaking also walk twice a week on Mondays and Fridays. And it's a lot. Like, it's more than kayaking. It's probably like 40-ish people. And y'all, when I tell you, like, that's a good percentage of the females in this. I can't even call it a town. Like, it's not even a town. It's an unincorporated area. But that's a good percentage of people to show up. So I enjoyed that. Walked about 4 miles. Not everybody walks that far. You know, it's a wide variety of ages. Oh my gosh. What is happening? I did a terrible job. I need to pay more attention. Okay, this is 24. I had them out of order. I'm going along blindly thinking I have these in perfect order because I did it ahead of time to prep. Clearly I need to pay attention because my numbers are not spot on. There is a drill later when we get to it. I'll show it to you that I had no idea was in this kit. And I think I know what it is, but I'm not exactly sure. So I want to show it to you all. Get confirmation. I could Google it, but I'd rather talk to you all about it. And then, let's see. Oh, last night we went out to eat. There is pretty much just one restaurant, like real restaurant. Like, and it's got like a nice back patio. So we sat outside. I had a sweatshirt on. Everybody else was wearing like a t-shirt and shorts in the whole restaurant that was outside. My husband was making fun of me, telling me that, you know, tell me you moved here from Texas without telling me you moved here from Texas because I was the only one wearing a sweatshirt. But yeah, he's right. I was. And so we had dinner there, which it's fine. Like, it's kind of like, it's a fine restaurant, but we specifically had a conversation about how we want to support it because we want to have somewhere to go out to eat, you know, sometimes. I'm not trying to go out to eat once a week, but I want to have like an option. So we went there, we had pizza. I got some more Huckleberry ice cream. It's a bad thing. The Huckleberry ice cream is too easy to get here. They have like at the little Mercantile, they have a Huckleberry ice cream sandwich. Oh, which is really good. And I need to not continue to buy them. So that is what I've been doing from just like a life standpoint. I also have been working on, by the time this goes up, you'll see the post review for Birthday Mermaid. I finished that. I also finished one of the Mini Dazzle sets that I picked up and unboxed recently. I have thoughts on that. I'm going to probably do a video dedicated to that. Might even film that one today. But 28. Okay. Yeah, so I'll reserve my thoughts on the Mini Dazzles. I will say that I have suggestions for Diamond Art Club if they're listening, which they're not, on how to improve Mini Dazzles. But I will save that for the next video. The other thing that I do that's probably different than most people if you watch diamond painting videos is when I have this many drills left and they won't fit in the bottle, again, I just kind of set them to the side. And as I run out of drills, I look to see if I have any in bags over there. I find with like Diamond Art Club and Dreamer Design that they give you so many extra drills most of the time. I did run out on one lately if you saw that, but most of the time you just don't, you've got plenty, and I never really get to the ones in the actual bags that I put over there. I get to the full bags, but when I have like a part of a bag, a lot of times I don't ever need them. So when I'm finished, I just throw them all away. Okay. And then kitting this kit's gonna take a while, y'all. I mean, I gotta be honest, I'm a little bit trepidatious. I think I've talked about this before. This is an older Dreamer Design kit. I'm expecting it to be pretty gappy. But I'm just gonna push through it. I think the other Dreamer Designs kits that I have are all newer. I think this is the only old one I have. I don't really buy as many Dreamer Designs. I've talked about this, but they sometimes put weird and too many specialty drills in there, enhancement drills, and I'm not into it. So I'm trying to expand into other diamond painting companies rather than probably buying too many more Dreamer Designs. Speaking of other ones, I ordered a kit from an Etsy seller that's a new to me seller. I think it's been a month and it's not here yet. So maybe I'll get that at some point. Been spoiled by the quick shipping that I got on everything in Texas. Wow, we're already in 31 of 58 colors in. I'm getting better at this, maybe. You know, I just haven't had any static lately. That helps so much with the kitting up process. Like, I didn't even actually, when I sat down to do this, I didn't even actually think about the possibility that there might be static because I haven't dealt with it in a super long time. I know there was a couple on my last kit, the Birthday Mermaid, there were like a couple bags that had static, but that's nothing. I can deal with that. I just don't like it when every single bag has a ton of static. That is no fun. I did not look over these symbols before I started kitting up to see if there were any that are very similar. I have found with Dreamer Design kits that there can be very similar symbols. And so I recommend if you're starting a Dreamer Design kit to look at the symbols ahead of time and kind of identify whether you're going to have any issues with those so you can be aware of it, because I've worked on kits of Dreamer Design in the past and absolutely not realized that there were two very similar symbols and had to pull a bunch of drills off of a canvas, which is no one's favorite thing to do. It's so annoying when you're trying to make progress and you have to pull a bunch of drills off and redo like a large portion of the diamond painting. I do notice that, my gosh, come on, get in there. So, oh my gosh, get in there. Sometime today. Okay. I do notice that there is a B symbol, be like boy. I hope there's not an 8, because that would be ridiculous. There's a 7. No, okay, they didn't put an 8. And there's a 6. I have found in the past that there's one symbol. Here it is. This symbol, I don't even know what that is. That often they will have more than one color of, which can get annoying. Even though it's a different color, it can be hard to see, but I don't see that in this kit. So maybe we're safe. A lot of dark colors in this. Like half of these drills seem to be like some color of gray or another. There's also a lot of bright colors in, but it's weird. Way more gray than I would have thought just looking at the canvas or looking at the thumbnail picture. Come on. So I've got this kit that I'm gonna do in, just thinking out loud about what I have coming up. I'm gonna do this one. I'm gonna get done with this one before the end of the quarter, I think. Yeah, it's not gonna take me. I hope it doesn't take me over a month. It's still August as I'm filming this. So I don't think it would take me over a month to get this done. You never know. I don't know. It's pretty big. I think I left myself about the right amount of time. Maybe if I get this done early, I'll do another mini dazzle. And then, oh no, September's the end of the quarter. I'm rushing. I'm rushing into fall and winter already because I want to do my Christmas kits. But no, okay, so I have this one, and then I have the Chuck Pinson Moment on Memory Lane, I think it's called. So I've got, and it's not a real big one, and it's round, so it'll go pretty quick. All right, so I think I'll have time to get through this one, the Chuck Pinson, and a Mini Dazzle, the other Mini Dazzle that I haven't done yet. The first Mini Dazzle that like took me 2 days, so it's not like it adds a lot of time. Yeah, I think I'll have plenty of time to get these done before the end of the quarter. I was thinking the end of the quarter was at the end of August. Not correct, Erica. And then I will jump into my Christmas paintings. I need to buy some more Christmas paintings. I don't have enough to make it through. I have already declared that I will be doing Christmas paintings for all of the fourth quarter. I do not have enough to get me through, I don't think. Unless I do one that I really don't want to do. I really only have one diamond painting in my stash that I just have no interest in really working on. Which I think is good. I think that's a good number. A lot of people I think have more than that. I don't know, but it is annoying that I have even one. It was the first batch that I bought from ever in diamond painting from Diamond Art Club. And yeah, I just don't love it anymore. But I'll probably still do it, although I don't think I'll do it this year. It is a Christmas kit. So I was looking at, I wanted to talk about enhancements. And I've decided from your all's feedback and just like while I was doing the video about what enhancement packs I should get to enhance both Winter Solace by Abraham Hunter, as well as, what's it called? Santa's List by, who's that by? I don't remember, but I have the box right here. It's not opened yet because I haven't unboxed it yet, but it is by Eau Claire Studio. Okay. That was holding all these drills up. I'm going to enhance both of those. I went on DP with Sparklers to buy the enhancement kit for Winter Solace, and they are out. They are sold out. So I signed up for an email to alert me when it comes back in stock, but I may have to kind of go off script and see if I can figure out my own enhancements and see if I can order those from DP with Sparklers or not, or somebody. I want to order them from DP with Sparklers because I want some of the kind of cool ones, like the pearls and the crystals, and I don't know where else can I order those, y'all, if they don't have them at DP with Sparklers. I've only ever used that particular company, and I know there's probably others that I'm unaware of. So if there's a backup place that you all have for me to order enhancement drills, please let me know in the comments so I want to get those orders in. I know it's months before I'm going to work on Winter Solace, but I don't know. I just like to have them because you never know how long it's going to take to get something shipped here. And then I might order, if I order some drills for that, I might order some more enhancement drills because I showed you the ones that I have left over that I'm going to use. Excuse me, needed some water. I showed you the drills that I have left over that I'm going to use, but if I'm going to order some enhancement drills, might as well order them for both. This is not a symbol that I particularly love that Dreamer Designs tend to use often, if you can see it. And they do this one in multiple colors in my experience as well. But again, I do not see multiple colors of that in this But look what they do. So they have a Y, and then, I'm sorry, but for all intents and purposes, these both look like Ys to me. But they have them in, I don't know, it doesn't look like it's in focus. Get in focus. But they have them in, there we go, they have them in 2 different colors. So while they're distinct symbols when you look at them next to each other, if you're just going along zoning out while diamond painting and you think, okay, there's a Y, sometimes you can screw that up. My God, I have just like a mountain of half-empty drill bags over here to my left. This is a cool color. This must be for the flowers. Ah! I hope you can't hear. There's like a notification on my iPad that keeps going off, which is in the other room. And I forgot to silence it because we have trail cameras on our property up here. That's not where we're living, where our property has nothing on it. And every time one of the trail cams takes a picture, it sends it to the iPad and makes a noise. The trail cams are cool because you get to see what wildlife is out there. We get grizzly bears all the time. We've had mountain lions, wolves, black bears, coyotes. But a lot of times it's just like the wind blew and it took a picture of grass. So you end up deleting a lot of pictures. It's fine because I would rather take a bunch of pictures than miss something cool. But at the same time, like last night I forgot to silence that iPad and I'm laying in bed and I can hear bloop, bloop. And so you're half tempted to come out and look at the iPad to see if there was actually an animal on the property. Because you're curious, like what's it taking pictures of? Because often the animals are often going through at night. And so, but then you're also like, I know I'm going to get out of bed and it's going to be like pictures of grass. So that was my internal monologue last night. I did not get up and I looked at the pictures this morning and I'm glad I didn't because there was nothing of note. Seems like right now we have not been getting pictures of many animals except for deer. I think that they're kind of up in the mountains, maybe, because it's warmer down here. But that's really just me making things up. A lot of bags of really full bags in this kit. There's a lot of bags that I can't get into the bottle. I do have a couple extras, and this does have like a second tier to it, but I just usually try to put it all in one, and what I can't get in, I just deal with that later. There's a straggler from the last kit. I only have 2 of these. It's just part of one set that I got. And you know what I think is nice about that from watching other people's videos is like, I can't have 8 of these that I need. Oop, I just hit the camera. 8 of these that I need to dekit because I always have to dekit one in order to start a new diamond painting pretty much. And I know I do not enjoy dekitting. So if I had like 4 of these, they would lay around and taunt me about how I hadn't dekitted them, even though it had been months since I finished a diamond painting. I hear a lot of people that I watch on YouTube talking about that, saying, "Oh, I've got my whole." I think Diamond Painting by Laura, who I watch. I think she was talking about how she had on her bed a bunch of storage that she needed to dekit. And while it would be nice to have a bunch of storage, I do it purposefully for that reason, so that I just don't have the ability to have it back up on me. It's a good trick to play on yourself. As I'm doing this, I'm seeing cars driving back and forth. It's amazing. If you've watched my videos before, you know that I live in the most random situation right now where I have a little like cabin in the backyard of the cabin where where a woman cuts hair. Or steel magnolias, as several of you have pointed out. And so it's funny, she ends up cutting hair like just a couple days a week, but she does a great business because she's got people coming through all day. I mean, from like 10 until like 9 at night. It's crazy. So good for her. Oh, also someone commented, and they didn't think I would know this show, but they said, from listening to your videos, it sounds like Northern Exposure. And I do know that show, and I watched that show growing up. I looked at it, and it came out in like 92. And so I have been rewatching that series because that comment reminded me of it. And then soon after, it's on Amazon Prime. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like I need to watch this because it probably is just like this town that I live in. So I've been rewatching it, and it is kind of highly inappropriate at this point. It's not held up well, but it's pretty entertaining, and it is very reminiscent of where I'm living now. It's pretty funny, like how I don't know everybody here yet, but pretty much everybody else who's lived here knows everybody. And someone today was telling me that until like this year, you could put somebody's name and the name of the town here on a letter and it would get to them, even if you didn't put their address on it, because there just weren't enough people, and the post office just knew where. You didn't have to say their address because they just knew how to get it to them. They knew where everybody lived, or they knew that they had a P.O. box or whatever. So stuff like that, and then just like watching the winter scenes. And if you haven't watched Northern Exposure, the premise is that this doctor from New York City had agreed to work in Alaska for, I believe, I can't remember if it's 2 or 4 years, after he graduated from medical school. And in return, the state of Alaska paid for his medical school. And so he thought, and his name's Dr. Fleischman in Northern Exposure, and he thought that he was going to be in Anchorage. And so he gets up to Anchorage and talks to the person in charge of this program. And they send him to somewhere called Sicily, Alaska, which has 800 people, which, by the way, fictitious Sicily, Alaska is larger population-wise than where I live. So my husband and I have been watching it. We've gotten a real kick out of it. Although I also noticed like there are a lot of sexual themes, like where they're talking about things that I, as a 12-year-old back in 92, clearly did not comprehend, which is a good thing. But also, I'm thinking, I can't believe I would watch this with my parents. Like, they didn't care. Which just shows that times have changed, for sure. But yeah, to whoever commented and reminded me that Northern Exposure had existed, thank you. Because you reminded me, and then when I saw it come up, I've been rewatching it. And it has been very similar to what's going on up here. It's been a lot of fun to watch, actually. We're moving right along. Only have 5 more left. So we're coming up on, I think the last bag of drills is the one that I was surprised by. Oh my gosh, my iPad is going crazy. Either there's like a whole herd of deer or there's wind. I'm gonna go with wind. See, to me, there's no wind here because there's so much wind in DFW all the time. But people are always like, oh, it's so windy, and like it's like 8-mile-an-hour wind. I'm like, yeah, that didn't even register as wind for me. Very different. So we're to the ABs. So we have an orange AB, AB 742. I don't know, what is that gonna be? I have a canvas up here, as you can see, but what in the heck is bright orange? I guess it's gonna have to be like lights reflecting. There's kind of a lot of it too. I don't know. Maybe it's a Dreamer design move where they just kind of put as many enhancement drills as they could. I don't know. Yeah, like there's so many I can't even quite fit them in one bottle. And then we have another AB that's green. I'm guessing that's in the foliage. Yeah, probably. This is AB 907. It's funny, I unboxed this kit on the channel, and I'm sure I went through where these enhancements are going to go in that video, but I have no recollection. I also think I got this diamond painting in 2024, so I think it's fair that I don't remember. And then the next drill is I guess is a crystal. It's like a red crystal. So that's interesting. I'm guessing that also is flowers, but I don't know. There's not too many of these. Oh, get in there. I don't even have a tray out, so if I spill these everywhere, I'm in trouble. Okay, you can do it, Erica. I am a lazy kitter-upper. I didn't even get a tray out. And I have spilled. But we just go with it and keep moving. Oh my gosh. Come on. There's not static in here, but they are just not wanting to move. There we go. And then the last drill is the one that's really confusing to me. It is YG03. Is that what I think it is? Is that glow in the dark? Why? If so, why is there glow in the dark? And it's just, look at it, it's just like, it's not even a symbol. It's just yellow. Why is there glow in the dark in a landscape? I don't know about this one, y'all. I will be the first to eat my words if it looks good. But I do not remember like ever having known there was a glow in the dark drill in this. I have never worked on any kits that have had a glow in the dark drill. And I'm not even sure that I'm right that that's a glow in the dark drill. It kind of, I mean, it looks like it. Otherwise, it's just freaking like neon yellow. But I am going to preliminarily say, I don't think that color is going to look good in this diamond painting. I will be happy to eat my words if I'm wrong. But we've got them all kitted up. And that did not take forever. So I'm super thankful about that. And I don't think I'm going to start working on this one today. I think I'm going to give myself a little break because this is going to be kind of a behemoth. We'll see. I'll start probably sometime this weekend and get this one going so that next time I come back with a whip-in chat, hopefully I will have some progress to show you. So that's going to do it for this video. Thanks so much. And like I said, I'm going to put that footage, a little bit of footage in from it's very short, I believe, from the Huckleberry Festival in Swan Lake, Montana. If you want to watch it, great. If you don't, no hard feelings. And until next time, everybody, happy diamond painting.